Ready with me as I'll tell you a story.
Livelihood. Livelihood.
Girl, my daughter's right here. Go over there. Y'all, so I just recently started YouTube, right? And I didn't know that people could actually be so mean. I have comments that tell me that for me to go do something else or for me to die. I'm like, and the minute I saw it, I was like, I wanted to give up and I was crying. I'm gonna be very sincere. I didn't know that this part of being a creator was gonna be, you gotta have like tough skin, you know. So, girl, I was there crying, to my husband. And then my husband was like, no, you can do it. Don't listen to them. I was telling like my sisters too. I was like, just like crying like a baby. I was like, these people are so mean. Like, just because they see something, or you're being yourself, or or you're like dancing, or just being yourself, basically they have to like tell you all these mean words. I'm like, really, y'all? Like, y'all don't have to be like that, Growing up, y'all, when, I was just bullied all the time because, because I was always, like chubby, like chunky, and, they would tell me stuff. They would bully me. They would throw me food. They would like treat me like shit, y'all, and I would just go home and cry. And of course, I didn't tell anything to my mom or my dad because, basically just growing up, I was like in a household to where, you know, my mom and my dad were always arguing, so they were never there for us, So then, that's how, CPS came into our lives and they took us away from me and my sisters, you know? They took us away when, I was in middle school, and, and it was the most heartbreaking thing. My dad walked away before CPS came in, and and that was heartbreaking as well because I didn't have my dad. My dad left, and I was supposed to look up at my dad, like look up to him. But unfortunately, I didn't. So, you know, that's how they removed us. They put us in the system. I started to be in the system at the age of 12 all the way to 18. Then, I mean, it's like crazy stuff that happens when you are in the foster system. So, just they separated me and all my sisters, which that was the most, heartbreaking thing that could ever happen to me in my life. Just separate me from my sisters because we were all sisters. You just have to be like a strong individual. You have to, and I had to be strong for my sisters because they were little. I had my older sister, but she was far away from us. They had her somewhere else, and then it's me. So my sisters were closer to me, thank God, even though we were separated. Both of our foster moms were siblings. So that's how we got to see each other like every, weekend, or it just depend when we would see each other. Well, and then at that time, I already was in high school in ninth grade, right? Because I was in eighth grade when all this happened, and then my sisters were like in elementary. So, so I was real chunky, right? And that's when my foster mom, well, not my foster mom, but basically that's the curriculum that they choose for me, like for me to be in ROTC, which I was in ROTC in high school in ninth grade over there in Laredo, right? And that's how I was able to lose the weight. So I dropped a lot of my weight. And besides, I went on depression. We were all separated, and it just hit us really bad that we were away from my mom, and my dad, well, he walked away. So yeah, girl, like I suffered a lot of bullying. Kids can be mean, they can be heartless. It's like I always said that everything comes from home. So how you teach your kid, that's the way he's gonna react out there. Okay, just saying. okay? Just saying, but it is true. It is true, and I've seen it, you know. So like I said, it just hurts me that, you know, people can just be so mean. So, you know, so that's why I took the initiative to not to stop giving up, even though today I didn't want to film y'all, like literally, like I got up and, you know, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, like I give up, you know. But after seeing my subscribers, you know, like I started YouTube like around 6, 7, 8. I want to say like the beginning of like December, you know. And let me tell y'all, like, you know what keeps me going? My subscribers, because it only takes one person to actually believe in you, you know, and they believe in me. They see the light in me, and they see how I am, you know. And I'm just trying to put myself out there so people can know the real me, you know. Yeah, one day I will become a famous YouTuber because I can see it too. But, you know, like, the money is not the happy, is not, yeah, it can buy you stuff, but it's not happiness, you know. And if it's something that I really want to do once I become a content creator, I want to help the foster kids out. I want to help the people in need, you know, because I was there too. Like, I came from nothing, y'all. Like, I was poor, you know. Like, my mom would go buy me, you know, ropa de la segunda, you know. And that's how we would go to school. And all these kids had like Hollister back in the day, like Ed Hardy, and they'll be balling on it, American Eagle. But guess what, y'all? I didn't have those clothes, you know. Like, my mom and my dad would buy us what they could, you know, because I would see them struggle. You know, there was days where we didn't even have light in our household, or we didn't even have water, you know. So it was just very sad, you know, growing up like that. So then one day I decided, and I said to myself, you know what, when I have my own kids, I'm gonna break the cycle. I'm gonna break the cycle, and I'm not gonna be like my mom or my dad. I'm gonna be my authentic self, me. You know, me as the person that dances, me as the person that always jokes around, you know, and is just a very happy person, you know. And I just feel that people sometimes can be so mean, you know, and they see someone like that, you know, and they bring them down. I'm like, no, no, like, if I'm here to, I'm still trying to figure out what's my purpose in this world, you know. But all I can say that if I can change someone out there, or someone that's listening to me, if I can change the way they think or how they love, you know, because back in the day I used to love myself, but now it's like men out there, they love chunky girls, you know. But it has to come from yourself. You have to love yourself and accept yourself. We're human, we're flesh. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, I think the only thing that makes you really beautiful is your heart. Your heart makes you look from the outside. So that's how my heart is. I'm just very happy. I love myself. You know, I love my family, my kids, my husband. So, you know, that's how I am. So, you know, and I appreciate all the love and all the support coming from everybody. Like, you know, and I'll be here posting every day and see where this leads me, you know. So, well, anyways, you know, thank you so much for listening, and, you know, drop your comments, girl, and let me know what y'all want to hear from me. You know, like, I'm here like an open book, you know. So, slay. Well, anyways, let me finish doing my makeup. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Have a beautiful Merry Christmas, you know, and don't listen to anybody that wants to put you down. You keep going, girl. Okay? Bye.